Can changing your environment help you achieve your goals? Well, I can tell you for a fact that I felt like the answer to that question is an absolute yes. While I sat here on a rooftop restaurant in Miami, Florida, looking out into the distance and just thinking about how I felt like I could definitely get used to this, maybe this Miami effect thing is real. Maybe it's a thing. Yep, the Miami effect. Supposedly it's a real thing. And from what I understand, the Miami effect generally refers to a perceived phenomenon in which individuals who move to Miami experience positive changes in their lives. Like, they become wealthier, they become healthier, and they just generally become more successful as a whole, right? And their entire lives, that's more successful than they otherwise would have been had they not moved to Miami, right? That's just something that I recently discovered or recently came across. It's a phenomenon that's new to me. And of course, it piqued my interest just because Miami is a place that I go to, seems like more frequently now, but as you saw earlier in the beginning of the video, I was there pondering, just like how much a change of environment can do for you as an individual. I mean, and from what I understand, I mean, it's been shown, or I don't know if studies have been done for this type of thing, but apparently, a change in your environment can improve your circumstances, right? With us here on this channel, we're all about online business, self development, and ultimately pursuing financial freedom, right? And in my case, we're going through the route of online business, specifically selling digital products, right? Whether it's as an affiliate or as the product owner, right? Using digital marketing to promote products, either via affiliate marketing or, like I said, like a product owner yourself. So how does that relate to to the Miami effect? Like, does that mean, am I saying that if you go down to Miami, all of a sudden you're going to be more successful doing those things? Of course not. I mean, it's just, it starts with you, the individual, and what you want. But I will say this, though. I will say every time I am down there, I feel invigorated, right? Like, I feel this sense of wanting to do more and wanting to accomplish more. And maybe that's a product of the environment that I'm in, right? If you're constantly surrounded by people who are doing well, right, and who are healthier as a whole, right, like the people you see around on the streets, jogging, all that type of stuff, healthy lifestyle, um, there is, to a certain degree, you are going to be inclined to want to achieve that for yourself, right? Especially if it is a good thing, right? Especially if it's a good thing. This life is not all about money. I mean, some people don't care about money and having fancy or nice things, and that's fine, right? But generally speaking, I would like to say, for the most part, more people could do with more money, right? It's always better to have the options that more money gives you, as opposed to not having those options and wishing to have those options, right? So I think it's pretty safe to say that more people would rather have more money than not. So in that regard, it's the Miami effect could be something, right? Who knows? It kind of reminds me of this whole idea of I don't know the exact saying, but it's something along the lines of, if you show me who your five closest friends are, then I can define who you are, right? We are a product of the five most influential people, or the people we spend the most time with, right? It kind of relates to that in a way. If you are constantly surrounded by, like, people, like, if you're, say, like in a city like Miami, where I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people are doing excessively well, right? People they're wealthy. You see fancy cars and all that type of stuff, right? um I don't know, there's something to it. It's one of two things, right? Depends on what kind of individual you are. A place like Miami can do two things to you as an individual. It can either really make you and want you to make you want to do better, or it can break you from complete discouragement, right? Are you the type of person that sees others doing well or doing much better than you, and it makes you feel discouraged and sad and wish, like wondering why you don't have that kind of life, or why, or is it the kind, are you the kind of person that sees that and gets motivated to want to do better, to know that those things could be possible for you? I remember telling the story of I've told the story before on my channel. I remember it was one of my actually, it was a secondhand story, right? My cousin, who was down in Miami, and I think they happened to be at a fancy hotel somewhere or so, and he was standing there waiting. I think the valet had gone to go get their car, right? And then while him and another valet person that was working, they were just both standing there, and then somebody pulled up in a Lamborghini, and the guy looked at the Lamborghini, and both my cousin basically turned and said to him, "Oh, that's nice. Wouldn't you like that, wouldn't you?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, that's not for me. I could never have something like that." And that right there is like, he's already defeated. Like, he's already just set his mind to accept that he's just destined for a life of of lack. Let's just put it that way. As opposed to my cousin, who's on the flip side, he's the type of person that sees that, was like, oh wow, I like this. Like, I'm gonna work hard, and one day I'm gonna have something like this, right? Two complete opposite mindsets, two complete opposite ways of thinking on the same platform. So it's just, who are you gonna be? Like, which one, which person are you gonna be, right? And I just remember every time I'm out there, it's like I get motivated, right? I get motivated to want to work harder, to want to do better, not necessarily even just only for myself, but like for loved ones, right? People around you, and make a difference in people's lives other than just mine, right? Obviously, you gotta, charity begins at home, right? Obviously, you're gonna take care of yourself, but the next thing is, you do this stuff for your family, your friends, and take care of others the way you can. At least that's how I think about it, anyway. So, but I don't know, like, it's one of those places that it led me to wondering, like, is the whole Miami effect, is it real? Is it a real thing, right? Well, I haven't I haven't moved there. It's one of those things that maybe with time I may find out, right? But there is definitely something to be said about every time I am down there, I really feel some kind of inspiration. And I know people have often said it's one thing to vacation there, or just go there for a few days, and it's something completely different to actually live there, right? It might be fun for a few days, but then after a while it might get old or something. And I know people have often said, if you're thinking about moving to a place or changing your environment, it's good to go stay there for at least a couple months, right? And see if it's the type of place you really want to be sure that that's where you want to be, right? Maybe that might be something to consider down the road. But it's definitely different from Greensboro, North Carolina, where I currently live, right? It's not that often that you see supercars on the streets, right? It's just once in a while, right? Whereas down there in Miami, it's an all the time type of thing. So, or it's something you see on a regular basis. Let's just put it that way, right? Nice cars or luxury cars and all that type of stuff. So, anyway, you get the picture. There's more to life than just fancy cars and money and all that type of stuff. But if that type of stuff does motivate you, does make you want to do better, then hey, maybe that's a place to be. Anyway, if you are interested, as always, in getting started with some kind of remote, making a living remotely, doing with an online business, affiliate marketing is what I do. And if you like to get started with something for free, right? If you want to get started something free that you don't have to pay for, right, and be able to make money with it, check out the first link in the description below this video. First link in the description below this video. And you can get started for 100% free. Start making money without having to pay anything, right? You just need to set up your free account to get access to where the training is housed, right? Of course, there's always going to be options to upgrade to get access to additional training and more opportunities to make even more money. And if you would like to get access to something that will give you a chance to make even higher ticket commissions, right? Like bigger commissions, to check out the second link in the description below this video. Okay, that's going to be something that's a little bit more expensive. You're actually going to have to pay for that. Of course, there's going to be access to even the training for that is phenomenal. It's one of the courses that I purchased to help me learn how to go about really capitalizing on various different social media platforms, especially Instagram, right? The likes of Instagram, TikTok, and all that type of stuff. Those are, the more and more I learn about it, the more and more I realize how powerful it actually is, right? So, but anyway, thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, put them in the comment section below, and I will be sure to respond. Thanks for watching. Ciao.